Hi people, Marino Ravenberg here again. As the header states, this is going to be a video and a really quick one on automatic writing. Automatic writing is a topic that I haven't covered yet on my channel as well as my website. I'm just going to do a video on it, this video that I'm doing right now. Yeah, automatic writing is basically part of an occult process in which you write down things, but you're not literally writing them. A spirit or any kind of energy, spiritual based energy. So basically, a third party entity is guiding your hand and thereby writing out messages for you. It's the same thing as working with a Ouija board. For those of you that don't know what a Ouija board is, look it up and how it works in essence, but that's pretty much it. Instead of actually working with the Ouija board where you have to move the planchette, or where the planchette is moved by a third party, so not you or the planchette, but by an external entity that is basically manifesting through you by moving the planchette and thereby communicating with you. That same concept applies to automatic writing. With automatic writing, it's simply the same thing. Okay, you literally, okay, during a ritual, you have pen and paper, you literally just write stuff down, and you don't literally write it down. You simply ask the entity or a spirit, whomever or whatever you're communicating with, to actually communicate with you through writing. And yeah, the rest happens itself. If you do everything correctly, then your hand will start to move, and it's only a matter of time. In the beginning, of course, it's a whole, as with everything, practice makes perfect. In the beginning, it's going to be inconsistent drivel. I mean, you're just going to have lines scratched like this randomly, like you're autistic, or like you're having some kind of epileptic attack. But with practice, you should be able to write fluently, and of course, it all depends on a number of factors. Practice, automatically mastering something like this, or an art like this, comes with time. Other factors that also play a part is that the entity needs to get used to you through specifically manifesting through you. That entity is basically going to possess your hand, specifically that body part that it needs, and partially, indirectly, the rest of you. Only a small portion of energy which is needed, and the entity or that spirit still needs to link up with you, of course, and your physical body. He has to get used to you. He has to get used to the way you operate and every other factor in your life in order to write it down. And the same concept applies to a Ouija board. So for those of you that were wondering what automatic writing is in the occult, that's what automatic writing is. It's like I said, it's exactly the same as a Ouija board, but instead of an actual Ouija board, you've got pen and paper, or a pencil and paper, or pencil and a pad, whatever. You've got writing material in any case. It also applies to those domino stones or play blocks that children have with letters on them. Any anything that can be used to convey a message can be used, and it applies to this. Same thing goes for a pendulum. What I do need to point out, however, is that it's not necessary specifically to have a third-party spirit work with you. You could also ask your own intuition, and your own clairvoyant senses will basically give you the answer to something you desire. It's like a magic 8 ball, the whole novelty toy with the magic 8 ball giving you answers. So you don't specifically have to work with a spirit or any other foreign or external or third-party entity, like a spirit, for example, that you're relying on to actually guide you in these messages. You can also simply ask this question from your own intuition, your own clairvoyance, that own part within you that is capable of giving you answers on a spiritual, so higher level, or just the universe, as in, yeah, just the universe overall. And then you're basically going to tap into the entire cosmos as a universal source of power. And yeah, the whole concept of practice applies to all of them. And like I said, you can use anything practically, as long as any tool almost any tool in general in which a message can be conveyed, yes. Okay, that's a more primitive form of divination, if you will. Okay, nowadays we have the most advanced forms of divinatory methods that can be used for for knowing the answer to an inquiry or knowing what the situation, scoping out the situation, basically taking stock of a situation. Primarily the ones I use, astrology, which is by far the most advanced one, excessively advanced in some cases, and tarot card readings, which are also very good, but give a more oversimplified answer, which is sometimes necessary when you just want a simple yes or no, and you don't need an elaborate answer, but you need more of a black and white answer. But yeah, in essence, some of the more primitive methods of divination started out like that. Okay, doing things like the more primitive version of tarot card readings, or not that I'm knowledgeable on these, but for example, rune stones. I'm not dissing any of these divinatory readings or these methods of divination. Sorry, but my point is that they have their root in that. The same mechanical concept, the same theory applies. Okay, it's you can even devise your own form of divination. For example, your own form of divination. For example, taking 3 different colored bricks or stones, and one functions as yes, the other one functions as no, and the other one functions as in I don't know, maybe, or it's a different answer. And yeah, you could apply everything that I just said from the beginning of this video, the same concept, either using your own intuition or working with an external entity that will manifest through you in order to give an answer, or you can simply work with the universe as a whole, tapping into the Akasha or the universal energy to get answers. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. Okay, but yeah, primarily that's what automatic writing is about, and that's how divination works. Okay, primarily that's how it works. Even with one of the methods that I use, like as I mentioned, tarot card readings. Even as a matter of fact, with both astrology as well as tarot card readings, it all depends on your state of mind. You need to be in the correct state of mind, as in you need to really want to know, okay, what you want to know, so to speak. So you need to be sure of your inquiry. You can't have, depending on the kind of divinatory method that you use, you can't have 20,000 inquiries, 20,000 questions in your mind. For example, with astrology, you need to specifically have one question in mind. If you want to know if your significant other is cheating on you, you need to be sure of it, as in, hey, I want to know, is he cheating on me? And boom, then you can check. Is she cheating on me? Boom, you can check. And there's a period where I like to call the cool down period. After you've asked that question, reserve any other question that you have at a later stage, and your own senses will tell you when the time is right to ask that question and then to turn to astrology. That's how it works. I call it the cool down period. With tarot card readings, for example, it's a lot more flexible. You can ask multiple questions back to back, and you can cast readings back to back. As in, is he cheating on me? Is it a woman or a man that he's cheating on me with? And it just goes on like that, Did he cheat inside our house, or did he cheat at his office? It just goes on. But there's a limit too, which your own senses will tell you. That's what I'm talking about. Your own state of mind, your own mental state and astral state play a pivotal role. If you're mentally confused, or you've got too much on your plate, so to speak, you've got too much on your mind, etc., then no. Then you need to be of a sound and clear mind. That's one of the basic requirements, and other minor things also apply. But those will come with knowledge and experience, of course. Practice makes perfect, like I said again. But that's the theory behind divinations. But yeah, the more primitive divinations like Ouija boards and working with the pendulum and automatic writing, like I said. Although automatic writing can be tricky as well, because everything needs to be spelled out for you. That's how it works. Okay, that's the mechanics, or those are the mechanics behind it all. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.